Hi, I am Dev and this is my submission for my final project of my internship under the guidance of Sohil Sir at zerointegration.com. The name of my project is VacciSafe. It is a website which helps you plan and keep track of your vaccine schedule with timely reminders. So right from birth to around 16 years of age, one is supposed to take around 40 to 45 vaccines. Some are supposed to be taken just after birth, some after 3 months, some after 6 months, some after a year or so. So VacciSafe helps you keep track of this whole vaccination schedule. The backend has been created with the help of Python and, to be specific, Django, and the database is in Oracle XE, which is the free enterprise version of the Oracle database. The frontend is HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Let's first log into VacciSafe first. So I've implemented Google sign-in for authentication. So this is the index page, and over it shows the account with which you are logged in, and it also gives you the option to log out. Clicking on About VacciSafe shows you some details about VacciSafe, and over here it shows the list of all vaccine recipients which this top level user has. So a user can have as many vaccine recipients as he or she wants. So let's go ahead and add a vaccine recipient. Date of birth is the most important of all this information. I will tell you why later. And the reason why I'm asking for gender is that females are supposed to take 2 additional vaccines. So here it shows the list of all the vaccine recipients which one is supposed to take. I have taken this data from the Government of India's Health Ministry website, and it shows the name of the recipient over here and as well as the birth date over here. In this column it shows the age at which that particular vaccine is typically taken at. So what VacciSafe will do is that add that particular amount of time to the birth date provided and calculate the due date of that particular vaccine. Now if the due date of that particular vaccine is in the past, that it is already gone, then VacciSafe will assume that a particular vaccine is already taken. But to be flexible and match with a particular recipient's vaccination history, VacciSafe allows you to mark that vaccine as not taken as well, and it will show you reminder notifications later on. Now these vaccines you cannot mark these vaccines taken yet because their due date is in the future. So as soon as the due date approaches, it will allow you to mark those as taken as well. Now clicking on a particular vaccine will show more details about it. I have created this table using JavaScript because I wanted to keep it I wanted to dynamically generate the on-click listeners as well. You can also get the option to delete that particular recipient from here or go to the home page. So the VacciSafe user gets added over here. In the new recipient form, it will not allow you to keep any fields empty. I have done this data validation with the help of JavaScript. It will also not allow you to have any duplicate names. So I already have a recipient whose first and last name are Dev and Patel respectively, and it will show you this error message that this recipient name is already registered. Now let's try adding a recipient with the gender as female. So I will just say recipient female and just give a random date of birth. Now over here, the 2 additional vaccines which I was talking about are these 2, HPV-1 for girls, which is supposed to be taken at 9 years of age, and HPV-2 for girls, which is 9 years and 9 months. If you go to the other recipient in which I marked the gender as male, then you would not be able to see that 2 particular vaccines. If you click on log out over here, it will just simply log you out and bring you over to this page. And you can delete a vaccine recipient from here as well, and that particular vaccine recipient will be deleted from this user. Then why you are seeing devpc.com over here instead of 127.0.0.1 or the private IP address of my machine is because of Google sign. So in the authorized JavaScript origins and authorized redirect URLs, it didn't allow me to enter a private IP address, and I didn't want to enter 127.0.0.1 our localhost because I wanted to test this website on other devices on my LAN as well. But if I added 127.0.0.1, then I couldn't do that. So what I did was that I played around with this host file, which is available over here, and I configured 192.168.29.201, which is the IP address of my machine, to devpc.com. I did the same to all the devices on my LAN on which I wanted to test it. So whenever I go to devpc.com, it would target this machine at which my server is. The database models of this particular website were fairly simple. There are just 4 models. One is the named user, so which stores all the data about the signed in users. The second one is recipients. So recipients has a foreign key to this particular user's table, so as to distinguish which particular user has which vaccine recipients. And each vaccine recipient has a first name, last name, date of birth and gender field. And then there comes vaccine records, which stores all these 43 rows for each and every vaccine recipient, along with the reminder date and the vaccine taken date. Now I have logged in with my other account, and let's go ahead and mark some of the vaccines as not taken. So whenever the reminder emails are sent, these 4 vaccines should come in them. And in the recipient 2 over here, let's mark 3 vaccines as not taken. Now whenever I run the server, I had commented out the script of this import statement, which is responsible for setting up the job for sending reminders. So I will uncomment it now, and so now it will send the reminder emails every 10 seconds. So let's wait for some time over here. So it has started sending the email notifications. Yeah, so it is done, and if I now go and check my inbox, then I can see these 2 reminders which are for these 2 vaccine recipients over here. So I had to stop the server, so that's why. So the 2 emails are for these 2 vaccine recipients respectively. So let's go ahead and see the first one, and this one is for Dave, which is the username of the top level user. The following vaccines are due for recipient 2, which is the name of the recipient. And for recipient 2, I remember there were 3 vaccines which were due, and for the other one, whose name was Dev Patel, 4 vaccines were due, and that's what are appearing over here. So in production environment, the script for sending reminders would run, I'd say, every day at 9 AM, but right now, for the sake of testing and demonstration, I have kept it for 10 seconds. The site is mobile responsive as well, as you can see over here. It adapts to the different screen sizes.